And good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going in depth on a major project planned for Genesee County. A company called Stream Data Centers says that it will pump billions of dollars into the Western New York economy, while opponents say the cost is too high. In a moment, Stream's Chief Development Officer and another executive from the company will join us live to answer some of your questions about this. Here's what we know, though. The data center would go at the stamp plant in the town of Alabama. The plan calling for a 90-acre, 3-building campus, creating about 6,000 construction jobs over 5 years, and then 125 permanent positions. Now, in exchange, Stream would get nearly $1.5 billion in tax breaks. There are also environmental and quality of life concerns from some residents. Listen to one community activist who is against this, followed by the Genesee County Economic Development Center's president.
Most states and even nationally are proposing moratoriums because these are so new. We don't know what the impact will be on the people, on the environment.
They're one of the better players in the market and better from their facility standpoint and sensitive to community needs.
Here to make the case tonight is Oseen Omerku, who is Stream's Chief Development Officer, and Bradley Wells, Stream Data Center's Senior Site Development and Selection and Development Manager. Thanks to both of you for coming in live. Great to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
I want to start here with one of the concerns surrounding this, which is the public subsidies, right? There is a group that kind of crunches the numbers, looks at data centers across the country, says this works out to a little more than $11 million per job, and that's one of the highest subsidies of any project like this in the history of the company. Why does the subsidy need to be so high to make this project work?
So number one, I even think the use of the word subsidy is a kind of misdirection. This is a tax incentive that was established by the Stamp Park long before Stream Data Centers even decided to locate at the park. The reason tax incentives are put in place by communities is to attract large investments to those communities, and counties and states have to be competitive with what's available across the U.S. So we as Stream Data Centers have come to an existing environment that has been set up by Genesee County in the stamp development, and we are effectively getting the incentives that were put there in place to attract development to this location. So it's been communicated that Stream are getting the benefit, but in effect we are just using the benefit that was established to bring this development here.
When the Stamp Industrial Park was designed, the intention here, or what was sold to the public, was that there would be advanced manufacturing that will be happening there, that it would bring a lot of jobs and economic opportunity. People look at this project and say 6,000 construction jobs sounds great. That's temporary. Only 125 permanent positions. Why should we view that as something that's worth $1 billion plus in tax breaks?
Yeah, I mean, those 125 jobs is spread across, direct Stream employees as well as our tenant. Those are direct ones that we can handle with benefits and compensation of over $100,000 a year, great jobs. And those aren't only just jobs in the kind of software tech sphere. There's also good trade jobs there because these are critical pieces of infrastructure that have lots of electric, lots of mechanical, lots of plumbing systems that need to be maintained 24/7. And there's also another 30 or 40 odd jobs that are landscape, security, janitorial that also come along with these as well. So we feel that there's tons of economic opportunity for people both at the job as well as all the stuff that comes along through the construction period of indirect jobs that come through the project.
You've heard the environmental concerns. There is a wildlife refuge that's not too far away. There is Native American land and concerns surrounding that, noise concerns. How do you address all those, and can you assure the public that should this get final approval, that this will not be an impediment to other development in the area and will not change the quality of life for folks who live near there?
Yeah, so one of the things I'd like to share is the Stream Data Centers. We're 26 years in operations. We've delivered 27 data centers. We have 10 active developments across the U.S. at the moment. We actually have studies with local communities where they have come out supportive of us as a community member. I actually sat at a specific community meeting where we had people come up unprompted and say, we would like Stream to be in this community because of their responsible development. This specific development, we have a requirement of 45 decibels at the property boundary, I have a dishwasher in my kitchen. It's 45 decibels. My bedroom is off the kitchen, and I can't hear that when it operates at night. So all we're asking for is people to judge the projects on its technical merits. We're proud to work for Stream because we bring responsible development to bear with communities, and we engage with communities. So our ask is just don't listen to the online hype. Look at the details and the facts and come talk to us, and we'll bring a development that it engages with the community, develops community development initiatives, and is appropriate for the location.
Let's talk about the energy side of this, and I read through a lot of the documentation that you provided, because there is the worry that these data centers take up so much electricity, they're such a drain. Walk us through how this is not connected to the grid impacting our homes, but also if you can address the concern that there's only so much power that can go to Stamp, and that this would drain so much of that, leaving less for other developments.
Yeah, so Stamp as a project has been developed over the last 15, 20 years. The actual electrical infrastructure has gone through all the studies at the NISO level, so they're the ones that actually operate our grid for that full 600 megawatts. That's out there today. You can see that at the substations being completed. That's all contained in their capacity planning as something that they're ready for the grid to accept, right? And I think another note to bring here too, just related to kind of, again, the environmental goals of kind of Stamp and the wider, New York grid, is that Western New York actually has 70 or 80% of its grid mix, that's the electric coming from nuclear, hydro, other sources, that's carbon free. So this also really makes sense from the standpoint of both existing grid capacity out there and what the actual electrons that are going on that grid that's supporting economic development within the Stamp Park.
I'm out of time, but real quickly, we were told you can't tell us because of non-disclosure agreements exactly what will happen here, but you can assure us it's not crypto. There's a lot of concern with crypto mining and that sort of thing.
Correct.
Not crypto, but you can't tell us who it is.
Correct.
When will we learn that?
We were 26 years in the business. The customers choose us because we hold their information confidential and to our hearts. So unfortunately, that's something we won't be sharing.
We'll learn when you're moving in. A ways away.
Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming in. We'll continue to follow this story. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you.